like just give me my money. Dancing at your ass on TikTok, dummies, PCR tests. See you tens, but usually the money up for death.
Taking things are connect modified items. We're checking look on with slide the thing.
Yo, kids, wake your ass up before coming and pick your ass up.
Now, do a really great job on new vaccines, healthcare, reproductive health. So we blow out by 15%.
All this mandates and all the bad to return to North. For most of the vaccination after providers are beginning to run out of people. Be you that I immunized. Be you that I immunized. Be you that I immunized. Be you that I immunized.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the America First Warehouse. I'm your host, James Justice. We got my boy, the Red Light Robin Hood over here. What are we doing, Steve?
Fighting!
Yeah. Welcome back to episode 31. How was your week starting so far?
Started like a typical week.
Yeah,
a lot of work.
A lot of work, right? Any new projects you're working on?
Yeah, I'm working on a new one. I looked at it from the outside. It looked like a great house, all squared up and everything. And got inside and was like, oh my God.
Oh, no, no, boy.
All kinds of. But I have to buy my houses basically sight unseen. I drive by them, check them out, and.
How's the real estate market going under Trump?
It's going very strongly.
Strongly. It's going bigly and strongly.
Yes, it's going very strongly.
That's awesome.
And banks are back to irresponsible lending, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh,
So let me tell you, they have a program where basically FHA buyers, first-time buyers, every buyer, can use the rent income from an illegal apartment to qualify for the mortgage.
Oh, my God.
Can you believe this? So people that don't nearly come close to affording a house with a mortgage payment of, say, $1,500 a month more can suddenly qualify from a house having an illegal apartment.
Sounds like an Obama-era mortgage crisis about to happen in the near future.
You ain't kidding, bro. So the way these banks are lending now, irresponsibly, be prepared, be careful, and invest wisely.
Yeah. Yeah, man. It's crazy.
Yeah.
So we got Comey in the headlines. James Comey was apparently on vacation and, stumbled upon a couple of seashells, and they somehow magically put their order into 8647, and it caused this big outrage on the internet because everybody's pissed off because they know what 8647 means. It means clip the guy,
Yeah.
And so big outrage, big pushback against it now. So he's got some questions he's got to answer, and then let's hear the excuses this guy had to come up with. No audio. All right, so forget that clip. So anyway, during the clip, he's talking about basically like, I came across these shells, and when I put it out, I never even crossed my mind that it had anything to do with an assassination attempt or anything like that. Completely lying to everybody and trying to cover up his tracks because that it went viral, and you're not going to get yourself out of this one. So he had to come back from vacation and ask a lot. He was asked a lot of questions, and
we were walking on
detained. And he was released, obviously, but he's on the hot seat right now.
Well, they weren't interrupting any kind of sex life there because that guy never gets laid.
Yeah, so let's go back to that clip. They got the audio working, and let's hear what he's talking about.
The beach. We went to the beach to prepare for this week, which was the launch of my book, and to think about the book and to prepare to answer questions about it. And we were walking back towards the road, and we saw in the sand someone had arranged shells with numbers. And Patrice, my wife, said, why would someone put an address in the sand? And I said, I don't know. And we stood over it, and I said, I think it's some kind of like political message. And she said, 86, when I was a server, she did a lot of work in restaurants, meant to remove an item from the menu when you ran out of ingredients. And I said, well, to me, as a kid, it always meant to leave a place, to ditch a place. I said, that's really clever. So then she said, you should take a picture of that. And I did. And I posted it on my Instagram account and thought nothing more of it until I heard through her that people were saying it was some sort of a call for assassination, which is crazy. But I took it down. Even if I think it's crazy, I don't want to be associated with violence of any kind.
And then what happened?
I got a call from the Secret Service that night asking if I would speak to them about it. Of course. I admire the Secret Service. They're pros. I spoke to them on the phone. Then they asked the next day when I got home, would I be willing to come in and meet them in person at the Washington field office, which again I did, and they were pros again.
Yeah, so yeah, he got a call from Secret Service. So now he gets to feel the MAGA heat a little bit.
Yeah.
Because, enough is enough. And also, a lot of people probably aren't aware. I might have mentioned before. I might have not. But under Obama, him and Comey tried to hide records, right? And what they did was they changed their names to Obarna, Obarna, and Corney, right? So when you went to search the files in the databases inside the government, certain records wouldn't pull up. But just so happens that Kash Patel and what's her name? The one that's dead in the water that doesn't do anything, Pam Bondi. So hopefully she steps up because she's getting dragged through the mud. Now Cash is over there too because Cash has been kind of like pussyfooting around on certain subjects, and now they're like, hey, maybe Epstein didn't kill him. So, he definitely killed himself.
That's the saying, yeah.
Yeah.
Unbelievable, right?
So we went from doing podcasts before Bongino and before Patel, were in the limelight. We went from podcast talking about, he definitely didn't kill himself. And I got all these witnesses and testimony, and I heard this and I heard that. And the guy in the cell with him was this big, steroid loaded up monsters. And so, we're going to see what happens with that. But hopefully they start really taking things serious because enough is enough. And we don't want any more flip-flopping around. We want justice and action immediately.
Yeah.
That's it. And then Donald Trump, you heard he went to Saudi Arabia?
Do you expect justice in action?
No, not at all.
All right. Sorry,
Not
I'm
at
glad
all.
we're on the same
I
page.
think it's going to come up
This
to
is
the
why we
American
get
people.
along.
You know what I mean? I think it's going to be up to the American people rather than some politicians to pass bills or whatever in Congress. It's going to be up to us because that's the heat that caused 1776. It was the people. It wasn't the politicians.
No doubt.
You know what I mean?
We need Angelo back on the air.
Yeah, we'll bring him in. Save New York. Where you at? So, so Donald Trump, you heard he went to Saudi Arabia.
Yeah.
Right? This guy is the man when it comes to deals, right? You hear how much money he secured in 48 hours?
It was ridiculous. Some ridiculous number.
Yo, $2.2 trillion.
That's tremendous.
In 48 hours, all right? And by the time he left there, out of Saudi Arabia, Qatar, and the United Emirates, they made $5.1 trillion come back to America in investment.
Wow.
Yeah. That's
Unbelievable.
ridiculous. That's not even a week trip. So
Yeah.
so imagine within the next 4 years all the things that are going to be done.
Somebody better make a Thug Life, meme out of that.
Oh, absolutely. I'll give you guys a breakdown of exactly what was going on. So you had a total of $1.2 trillion in economic exchange agreements, including a $96 billion deal for 210 Boeing aircraft, additional commercial and defense packs totaling $243.5 billion. Then you had Saudi Arabia come in with $600 billion investment commitment featuring $142 billion for defense agreement and significant investments in AI and technology sectors. Then you had the United Arab Emirates, $200 billion in commercial investments focusing on technology, infrastructure, and energy products. So we're talking about good, big deals that are for Americans. We're going to get people working again, get them the jobs with the 401ks and the benefits and all the good packages that Americans deserve with the workforce. And so that's going to be coming back, man. That's big news.
That's a big difference from all the other administrations.
Yeah, and we're just getting started. We're just getting started. So, drill baby drill is taking full effect. We're going to start reaping in all the benefits of that with the lower gas prices, which is going to lower the prices of everything else. That's where the hyperinflation ended up coming in. And with all these investments pouring back into our country, the hyperinflation has no chance. Look at the Fed. The Fed doesn't
Well,
even
listen,
wanna
the
raise rates.
hyperinflation right now, in my eyes, the thing that's creating a huge amount of hyperinflation in at least the real estate market is what we were just talking about. How is that even possible that banks can use illegal apartment income to help the buyer qualify to spend more money?
Yeah, because it's rigged to fail. It's rigged,
rigged
to
to fail.
enslave and pillage everybody from their private properties.
And
They
it
don't
drives
care.
the market super, super, super high. So our kids are forced to leave the island.
Yep. It's either you're going to rent or be homeless, you know? Or I like
Mommy's
to say
basement.
rent or tent.
And if they can't leave, they end up in their mother's basement. And then before you know it, because they're not forced to work, they become libs.
Yep. Green hair with their hand out.
It's true. It really is true.
Yeah.
So irresponsible lending definitely creates more libs.
Yeah. That's crazy. And we have enough of them, man. Enough.
Yeah.
Like, I'm tired of seeing disconnected Americans walking around and not knowing what the hell's going on.
If they didn't have that illegal apartment income able to help people qualify for houses, think of how many less buyers there would be in the marketplace.
Yeah. So it's like artificially inflated.
Totally.
Yeah. 100%.
Totally. So that's why people that would normally qualify to spend $350,000 or $450,000 can go and buy a house for $750,000 because it might have a basement apartment.
Yeah. There's got to be a big correction in this market.
Yeah.
Big correction. Yeah.
Yeah, it's very scary. Very, very scary.
So we're going to be taking a break in a couple minutes. But, yeah, man. I mean, I don't think the...
Right.
All right, so I guess we'll go to a commercial break real quick, and then we'll be back on the other side. All right.
We'll be back fighting.
Fighting every day.
It's a rat race. Gotta fight through it.
Fight.
I told you this was crazy. I'm out of here.
No do that. Free stuff for all. I have to be such a downer.
For you, bow to the master staff. Come to me.
Oh my god, this guy's from Jersey.
Hi, how you doing? Fuck up my stage.
I'm pretty sure I'm a woman.
No, you're not, Steve. Oh!
A little wet on my side. Now instead of a poke, you're getting a smack!
What have I done?
Are you a musician, comedian, actor, filmmaker, or artist who stands for traditional American values? Do you believe in the preservation of our nation, our culture, and our freedoms? If you share our passion for America and want to use your talents to make a difference, we want to hear from you. Our mission is clear. Through the arts, we uphold the principles of freedom, faith, family, and the American spirit. It's time to step up to the mic and make your voices heard. So contact us at AmericanConservativeArtists.com.
The dehumanizing rhetoric of Adolf Hitler, Donald Trump's language, mirrors this directly.
Well, Hitler was duly elected.
Let's deal with Hitler, okay?
I don't think it's hyperbolic to say that is Mussolini Hitler-like language.
You say Nazi enough times, someone's going to actually have the guts to do it.
Donald Trump would invoke Adolf Hitler.
What percentage of this event happening was due to Donald Trump's rhetoric?
Don't miss Trump next time.
What do you make of the excess deaths?
None of us, not the president, not those hypothetical guys in the smoky rooms fully know what's going on, but we can speak about the unfolding of recent history with certainty.
Donald Trump is an existential threat to our democracy.
That is not how it works. That is the threat to democracy.
No. No.
You anti-Semitic piece of...
When you make it difficult for people in their lives, they lose their ideological bullshit.
Free fries when you get vaccinated? Vaccination.
At the America First Warehouse, the most.
Are we?
Yeah, we're back at the America First Warehouse, the most We're back, right?
On the hand on.
All right, I wasn't sure what you said. So we are back at the America First Warehouse, the most patriotic venue in all the land. Myself, Stephen Ruth, and James Justice.
Yeah.
UCNYnews.com. That's UCNYnews.com.
What's going on over there? So what else we got in the news, man? Joe Biden, they came out on the news and says he's got cancer now, right? And they're trying to play it off like, this is all of a sudden he just got diagnosed with it and it's this big thing. But look at it. If you look on the screen right there, the doctor that worked with him said that, nope, he had this way longer. If you check that article, man. So he basically said that he had it for many years, maybe even a decade, growing there and spreading. He said that it definitely didn't develop within the last 100 or 200 days. So what's going on over there? That's another thing that we need answered, is what the hell was going on with this administration.
I'm sure as soon as he was diagnosed, Obama was told. It was protocol.
100%.
That's protocol. The president is notified immediately. And the New World Order just stuck with the game plan. Now we have total control. We can put this guy in place, knowing he's terminal, and we have total control.
Yeah, it was absolutely disgusting.
And then after him, they were trying to put Kamala in.
Oh, my God. Could you imagine if we had to deal with those cackles for 4 years? Oh, my Lord. No.
And she's another New World Order.
Yo, she was worse than Joe. She couldn't even put a sentence together. At least he, like Joe Biden, mumbled, and he'll put the sentence together, but butcher it.
I prosecuted multinational terrorist and drug cartels. That's all she can say over and over.
And
meanwhile, she never did that. She sat in an office. They hid her away. And
just like she worked at McDonald's.
Yeah, Trump
was showed
slobbering.
her up. Trump was going to give her fries. He's like, yo, I got these fries. It's Kamala's birthday. I'll give her some fries. Get out of here, Kamala. You aren't winning nothing. And speaking of Kamala, right? So Beyonce, it just came to the light that Beyonce collected over $11 million. I think I got a little.
Oh, yeah, $11 million to speak at a Hillary Clinton event, right?
Yeah.
Or was it Kamala Harris?
Yeah, look,
was it Kamala or Hillary?
Kamala Harris was holding campaign rallies, and she basically booked them
for $12 million.
Yeah, a couple different like hip hop celebrities or whatever. So now Trump is pledging that he's going to get down to the bottom of this. He said, "Yo, that's not happening.
No,
that's totally illegal." And so now Beyonce.
Wait, maybe it is legal.
I don't think so. You're using persuasion of somebody else.
Oh, fans group? Like a fan group or whatever?
Yes, but yeah, no way. And so she's in hot water, and Kamala Harris, that whole administration, and they're going to get down to the bottom of, what was it? The investigations into Trump and the whole Russian collusion thing. What was it, a hurricane?
I don't know, but
the
I'm anxious to hear something.
Crossfire Hurricane. There we go. Crossfire Hurricane. And so we're gonna get to the bottom of all this. It's coming, and it's a good time to be alive. I can't wait to see all this unfold in front of my eyes. But until then, we're waiting. We're just
we are waiting. So's half the country.
Yeah. And then we had Anthony Weiner. Did you see this one? This guy is going around doing jumping on talk shows now, and he ended up on a talk show with Patrick Bet-David. And this guy's good. He's good at like questioning. So he brought up like the body count with Hillary Clinton.
Yeah.
Did
you have it?
Yeah, I have it. We're gonna play the clip after in the press conference.
Yeah, the body count now is higher because Christopher Sine, the journalist that broke the story Mystery on the Tarmac, look him up. Journalist Christopher Sine is another member of the body count.
Yeah.
It's over 60. It's well over 60 people. I believe.
I think it's over 100 now.
Wow.
But so. Like in the middle of this, Anthony Weiner starts freaking out, starts cursing. So let's show this guy after he was asked about the body count.
Someone went into a pizza parlor in Washington because they believe this shit, and you're making an echo chamber.
Your reaction is an answer. So let me go to it here now.
We got audio.
No.
Your reaction is an answer.
You're not going to read a list. Yeah, my reaction is my reaction.
Yeah, exactly.
Can you tell me what that list, in your view?
You haven't allowed me to finish. If you allow me to finish the
question,
then
you're reading 46
you
random
can
names
do
off the internet
whatever you want.
Of some fucking insane website.
I love your answer.
And
because
these people.
Yeah, skin was boiling. He was not happy. Not happy. He doesn't like answering questions about that. He didn't even want to talk about
I
the
am
people.
high up in the crime family. You don't get to question me.
Yep. And if you don't remember who that sleazebag is, that's the guy that was married to Uma Abedin, who was Hillary Clinton's top assistant. And they were supposed to be having some little lesbian affair, which is kind of gross to think about. But that was her top aide's husband, and he was the guy that got arrested for sending inappropriate pictures to minors and got arrested and did time over it and got out. But that's another sicko right there, that when people were looking through this guy's laptop and they saw certain things like an insurance policy folder, there was things that made a lot of the NYPD upper brass basically commit suicide, and who the hell?
We should do a segment on that.
Yeah, I gotta do a further investigation into the names of the officers and exactly what was going on. But a lot of people in the upper brass, they offed themselves over this case, and a lot of things went unanswered.
We're talking about NYPD.
Yeah, NYPD. It just got slipped under the rug, and nobody ever talked about it again. And this guy's running around doing podcasts after serving time for being a pedophile. So that's crazy, So we gotta get down to the bottom of that at some point.
Yeah, we'll do a segment on it.
Yeah,
I'll remind Mr. Justice.
And then he was also sticking up for the guy, the owner of Comet Ping Pong. Remember that guy?
Yes.
From the Pizzagate special?
Pizzagate.
Yeah, so what was his name? James Alefantis. I love my brain, man.
Yeah, man.
James Alefantis is the guy's name. And if you look up who the most powerful people in Washington, D.C. are, somehow a freaking guy that makes pizza is on that list. How are you one of the most powerful people, and you're not even political, but you own a pizza restaurant, and you're one of the most influential, powerful people in D.C.? So for those who haven't saw the Pizzagate special, I suggest you go to BitChute, because you're not going to find it anywhere else. They delete them off everywhere because it makes so much sense and puts all the pieces of the puzzle together. You want to go look at people's Twitter accounts from like 15, 20 years ago when they were all doing the stuff like Chrissy Teigen and mentioning all these pedophilic comments and all these different people. Yeah. That's where it's at. So go watch the Pizzagate documentary. It's very real. There is a conspiracy. There are kids being trafficked all over the place and sold as slaves. So we have to get these kids freed and make a stand and save the children. And these guys hang out with the same people. You know what I mean? Birds of a feather flock together. And if you look at the people these guys associate with, it's clear as day that you would never put these people around your family, around your children. So be vigilant and do your own research and look into these people. Look into the artwork, the artists they represent, and the parties they go to. It's all the same club, all the same blackmail rings, and that's what it is. And the quicker people become aware of it and start to call it out and rid it from society, that'll be the quicker point we can get our morals back in this country, and that's what we really need for the future generations, because there's no morality right now in the world, especially in the country. Sex is pushed everywhere. You got cartoons for kids on Sundays with the characters in the cartoons twerking their ass. Like, are you kidding me right now? So let's get
What was
back
that
to
chick's name?
godliness.
Marina Abramovich, the one that did the...
Yeah, the spirit cooking. Yeah. She's another freak. And then there's another weird-looking lady. She's got, like, black fingers, like she was sticking her fingers in up horses' rectums.
All right.
Who the hell knows what she was doing? But these people are nasty, I'm telling you, man. And then there was another thing called smocking. Remember those parties with the glow? They paint themselves in the like glow-in-the-dark paint and run around naked like weirdos in black lights?
I have no idea.
Dude, these people are freaks, I'm telling you. So, yeah, man.
We'll do a segment on that, too.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff to break down. You can't really do it within an hour when we're trying to cover current events and topics. So, but if you go on to UCNYnews.com, there's a lot of stuff on there you can get. I put together short documentaries and everything, and you can get up to speed on some of the stuff we talk about that we can't get into depth on. So, hell yeah.
I just see that our buddy from Save New York, or Save Long Island?
Save Long Island.
Save Long Island, Angelo Veltri, just was talking in a post about Capitol Hill where he was all day lobbying. Our buddy became a lobbyist, and he lobbies for the Second Amendment.
That's awesome. God bless that guy, man.
Yeah.
Second Amendment is what holds the fabric of our nation together, because people won't dare to tread on us until they try to disarm us like they've been trying to do for decades now.
Oh, yeah.
But it's not going to work. It's not going to work because Obama was the biggest gun salesman of this country. When he was like, oh, yeah, we're going to start confiscating weapons. I think we had like 300 million guns at the time and like 1.5 trillion rounds of ammunition spread throughout the citizens of the country. And then Obama came in and
he also deported the most people.
Yeah, oh yeah. I bet he did. Probably the parents to the children that they were trafficking around.
Maybe.
But yeah, so
he ordered a bunch of pizza.
Oh yes, he did, and hot dogs too.
And hot dogs.
$160,000. No, wait, what was it? I think it was $160,000 to fly in hot dogs in the middle of the night, something like that. I'm gonna get an exact number on that, but Jay, if you're in the chat right now, drop it in the chat. How much did Obama pay in the middle of the night to bring in hot dogs? All right, it might have been $60,000. I think it was $60,000. Something like that. But yeah, these people are pedophiles. They're weird. They need to get strung up and charged and never see the light of day again. That's how we feel around here. We don't deal with pedophiles. So, what else we got?
It says revoke charter 1913 to end the Federal Reserve.
Yeah. So the Federal Reserve, as most of us know, is a private organization that has hijacked our country's monetary system. And it's been going on from 1913. They bankrupted our country and all the wealth. By 1929, when they collapsed everything and caused the Great Depression, and we've been slaves paying back the debt ever since. So one of the big things we have to do is repeal the Charter of 1913 of the Federal Reserve Act. All right? We have to get rid of the Federal Reserve Act and put the monetary system back in the hands of our U.S. Treasury, where it belongs, backed by gold, where it can't be manipulated. So there has to be some.
Unless there's nothing in Fort Knox.
Yeah.
What did we hear about
Where's
that?
our audit? We need to see our audit.
What's going on with
Knox.
that? Such silence. Yeah. The silence is deafening.
I think we got a commercial break, right? We're going to run into a commercial break.
Welcome, everybody, to the Not So Newlywed Show, where 3 couples are going to compete for really great prizes. Okay, Donna, we asked Mike, who complained first on your honeymoon, you or him?
What do I think?
Yeah, what do you think?
I think he said...
Lisa, this ain't the SATs. Just tell us what... Donna, who complained first on the honeymoon?
I'm sure it was me, but I have no idea.
Donna is right.
No, it's always me.
What celebrity would you pick for a one-day pass?
For me?
Yeah, for you, not for him.
Matt Damon.
Matt Damon! Wow! Who do you hate the most on her side? That rotten no...
There are so many choices.
Thank you all, and thank you for coming out.
The Queens Village Republican Club is America's oldest Republican club, founded in 1875. Situated in President Trump's hometown in Queens, New York, we are America First MAGA Republicans, empowering fellow Republicans to get involved in the game of politics at the grassroots level. We host inspiring monthly club meetings on the first Thursday of each month at 8 p.m. For more information, please go to our website at www.qvgop.org.
In the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Huge woke front coming.
Politicians got a license to steal.
I'm pretty sure I'm a woman.
No, you're not, Steve.
What have I done? There's a killer example of a good old-fashioned public school education.
First Warehouse was really the most patriotic venue that you can ever imagine. We wanted to build something for people to be able to come to and feel so comfortable and so relaxed, because there is nothing out there like it. We give an opportunity for people to really feel good about themselves and about this great country.
We are back, ladies and gentlemen.
What's going on, everybody?
At the America First Warehouse.
All right. So we're going to get into some Trump executive orders. So Trump's been signing away some executive orders, and this is great because, left and right, every time you turn around, he's got something new up his sleeve where he's just releasing prosperity amongst the nation. So it's pretty awesome. So he signed an executive order to basically bring all the drug prices down. You know how they have everything jacked up so high? Like when you were going to Mexico and you were telling me about the ivermectin. You can get it right off the shelf.
Yes, that, and also the insulin for diabetics was $50, and here at the time it was $500.
Yeah. So it's a perfect example of how once you leave the United States and you go into these other countries, the prices of drugs and healthcare products are way, way, way lower, like by hundreds of %.
Yeah.
And it's ridiculous for us to be getting ripped off on these products when, at one time we were manufacturing them. Now they're going to be starting to make the stuff here and again in America, which is good because we have better safety standards than everywhere else in the world. And they were just putting whatever the hell they want into these, pharmaceutical products.
Right.
So on top of that, he also signed an executive order for the veterans. It's called, he wants to create a National Center for Warrior Independence, which it covers rebuilding the Los Angeles VA campus as the National Center for Warrior Independence, providing housing and support to up to 6,000 homeless veterans by 2028, redirects funds from illegal immigrant programs to veteran services, offers comprehensive care, housing, addiction treatment, and job training, restores accountability in Veterans Affairs operations, and revives historic promise to serve and prioritize U.S. veterans. So that's powerful right there.
Yeah,
man.
it is.
We got to look out for the veterans. We owe them everything, They signed up their lives to give to us. The least we could do is give back to them when they get done serving and when they need it the most,
Absolutely. Absolutely. A lot of them get disrespected and they don't get the treatment that they deserve. And a lot of them have mental illness from the things they've seen, or maybe shell shock, or, different exposure to warfare.
Yeah, it's horrible. It's like a nightmare. I mean, imagine going overseas and you have to look a child in the eyes that has a bomb strapped to them and shoot them in the head.
Right.
Like that's something that the average person couldn't even comprehend, let alone, one of our soldiers that come back and these images got to haunt them forever with some of the stuff. Even they get their best friends on the unit blown up next to them and they see some of the most gory battle things that you could imagine. And the least we could do for them is comfort them and aid them when they get back and give them whatever mental health they need and housing, help.
Absolutely.
Get them working, get them feeling good, get them adjusted into civilian life again, so they could feel like people, not like they're misplaced military people mixed in a civilian crowd. Like, we got to open and embrace these people.
Yeah. I remember my friend was just arrested. He was a 77-year-old, I think it was, veteran from Vietnam. He was just arrested because he was disrespected at the Department of Motor Vehicles when he went there to renew his registration and didn't have an appointment, and he doesn't have a computer, nor does he have a smartphone. So they disrespected him, and they were letting people that were not even legal immigrants in with no appointments right in front of him. And he flipped out and started yelling and screaming, and he actually got locked up at the Department of Motor Vehicles. So I got him my legal team to help him out there and I'm sure they'll accept him into the Veterans Court, being that he was active duty in Vietnam and saw combat, and he'll probably end up in Veterans Court, and they'll take care of him. But
shame on that DMV, man.
Yeah, DMV and Social Security, terrible, terrible places to ever have to visit.
It's horrible.
They disrespect the general public.
Yeah, unacceptable. We want better than that, guys.
Absolutely.
So we got, remember we were talking about Obama, running around with things in the background?
Yeah.
So I found a clip of Obama saying just that about, maybe if Biden gets in there, if he had a guy to sit in for him. Let's play that clip.
I remember saying that he would just hang out in the background.
Yep. Let's show
in his basement.
If I could make an arrangement where I had a stand-in, a front man or front woman, and they had an earpiece in, and I was just in my basement in my sweats looking through the stuff, and then I could sort of deliver the lines, but somebody else was doing all the talking and ceremony. I'd be fine with that because I found the work fascinating.
Oh, yeah. This guy. If I could just sit in my basement in my sweats, He's so cool.
Yeah.
You know, this guy, man. He's another one that's got to see handcuffs in a prison cell for the rest of his life. You know, I'm tired of these people, man. You have all these treasonous people running around, and, you know, why can't they be charged? I don't get it. I really don't get it. I got another graphic of Obama over here. What does this one say? Yeah, all roads lead to Obama. So this graphic right here, Donald Trump actually posted on Truth Social, and he's been on fire talking about the deep state, about military tribunals, and so I think we're at a point right now where they're just lining up the ducks in a row, and for the president of the United States to be just blasting that out to the world, like, yo, there's treason going on, dude, that's big. You know? So
absolutely.
He's not playing around.
But this isn't something that we didn't already know.
Yeah, we knew this for years. This has been going on for decades and decades, and we've been talking about it, and, you know, nobody wanted to listen because I guess it just wasn't that time. You know, trying to explain to people that they're going to be enslaved for the rest of their lives and put on a digital grid. They're like, yeah, okay, sure, you're crazy.
They have no idea.
They have no idea.
They're this close.
Yeah. And I'm not like, you know, I'm not some superhero. All I did was I listened to the World Economic Forum. I go to the Bilderberg groups. I get their topic lists that they put on their website every single year of who's attending and what they're talking about and their goals and how all that ties into the other larger groups in the world, like Davos and all these other key players. So all I did was listen to what they're saying, study their documents, and go, wait a second, something's not right here. And I put the pieces of the puzzle together, and I've been off to the races ever since, trying to wake up the public, and it's been the slowest process I've ever experienced. But it's now at a turning point, and, you know, thanks for COVID, because COVID woke a lot of people up.
Yeah, it did. COVID really did wake
Sadly,
a lot of people
it murdered a lot of people, and it still is, and people are maimed for life now. But, you know, it woke a lot of people up, and maybe, you know,
it taught them not to trust government.
Yeah.
You cannot not ever trust government.
Yeah, it's crazy. Absolutely crazy. So I have a speech from JFK that I've been talking about secret societies. I always talk about the stuff for the Masons and the Illuminati and all these hidden networks and societies that are in Hollywood and music and movies and everywhere you think, where there's a power structure, courts, police, military, whatever. They all have, you know, Masonic institutions and members that are going and recruiting people. So this was a clip. This is another reason why JFK got assassinated, because of this speech right here mentioning secret societies going on in America. Let's roll.
Ladies and gentlemen, the very word secrecy is repugnant in a free and open society. And we are, as a people, inherently and historically opposed to secret societies, to secret oaths, and to secret proceedings. We decided long ago that the dangers of excessive and unwarranted concealment of pertinent facts far outweighed the dangers which are cited to justify it. Even today, there is little value in opposing the threat of a closed society by imitating its arbitrary restrictions. Even today, there is little value in ensuring the survival of our nation if our traditions do not survive with it. And there is very grave danger that an announced need for increased security will be seized upon by those anxious to expand its meaning to the very limits of official censorship and concealment. That I do not intend to permit to the extent that it's in my control. And no official of my administration, whether his rank is high or low, civilian or military, should interpret my words here tonight as an excuse to censor the news, to stifle dissent, to cover up our mistakes, or to withhold from the press and the public the facts they deserve to know. For we are opposed around the world by a monolithic and ruthless conspiracy that relies primarily on covert means for expanding its sphere of influence, on infiltration instead of invasion, on subversion instead of elections, on intimidation instead of free choice, on guerrillas by night instead of armies by day. It is a system which has conscripted vast human and material resources into the building of a tightly knit, highly efficient machine that combines military, diplomatic, intelligence, economic, scientific, and political operations. Its preparations are concealed, not published. Its mistakes are buried, not headlined. Its dissenters are silenced, not praised. No expenditure is questioned, no rumor is printed, no secret is revealed. No president should fear public scrutiny of his program, for from that scrutiny comes understanding, and from that understanding comes support or opposition, and both are necessary. I am not asking your newspapers to support an administration, but I am asking your help in the tremendous task of informing and alerting the American people. For I have complete confidence in the response and dedication of our citizens whenever they are fully informed. I not only could not stifle controversy among your readers, I welcome it. This administration intends to be candid about its errors. For as a wise man once said, an error doesn't become a mistake until you refuse to correct it. We intend to accept full responsibility for our errors, and we expect you to point them out when we miss them. Without debate, without criticism, no administration and no country can succeed, and no republic can survive. That is why the Athenian lawmaker Solon decreed it a crime for any citizen to shrink from controversy. And that is why our press was protected by the First Amendment, the only business in America specifically protected by the Constitution, not primarily to amuse and entertain, not to emphasize the trivial and the sentimental, not to simply give the public what it wants, but to inform, to arouse, to reflect, to state our dangers and our opportunities, to indicate our crises and our choices, to lead, mold, educate, and sometimes even anger public opinion. This means greater coverage and analysis of international news, for it is no longer far away and foreign, but close at hand and local. It means greater attention to improved understanding of the news, as well as improved transmission.
So if you want to watch the rest of that
means
speech,
finally,
it's very powerful, and I highly recommend you go do that. And I think we're going to take a quick commercial break, and when we come back on the other side, we're going to jump down into some good videos. I think you're going to like them, Steve.
Nice.
So we'll be back.
At the America First Warehouse.
I told you this was crazy. I'm out of here.
No do that. Free stuff for all. Don't have to be such a downer.
For you, bow to the master staff, come to me! Oh my god, this guy's from Jersey!
Hi, how you doing? Fuck up my stage.
I'm pretty sure I'm a woman.
No, you're not, Steve. Oh! Oh!
A little wet on my side. Now instead of a poke, you're getting a smack!
What have I done?
Corporate transfer, fine professional, moving and storage, and inventory management.
Welcome everybody to Not So Newlywed. Three couples are going to compete for a really great prize. Okay, Donna, we asked Mike, who complained first on your honeymoon? You or him?
What I think.
Yeah, what do you think?
I think he said.
Please listen to the AT. Just tell us what. Who complained first on the honeymoon?
I'm sure it was me, but I have no idea.
Jordan is right.
No, it's always me.
What celebrity would you pick for a one-day pass?
For me?
Yeah, for you, not for him.
Matt Damon.
Matt Wow! Who do you hate the most on her side? That rotten no.
There are so many choices.
Thank you all, and thank you for coming out.
The first warehouse was really the most patriotic venue that you can ever imagine. We wanted to build something for people to be able to come to and feel so comfortable and so relaxed, because there is nothing out there like it. We give an opportunity for people to really feel good about themselves and about this great country.
Well, back to Warehouse. I'm James Justice. We got Stephen Ruth over here, a.k.a. the Red Light Robin Hood. So now that you guys always hear us blabbing on the mic and we're always covering current events and talking about stuff, we might as well give you a little preview of what we do on the outside and our activism and stuff we do. So I got a good clip over here that I'm going to show up. I think it's going to make you happy. It's asset number 11. All right, is that up there?
I just want to get a shot of what you say you did here. So those wires are what? They control the camera?
Well, they did.
With so much drama in the LBC, it's kind of hard being Snoop D goes up.
No, I couldn't just do one. I had to do them all.
So
or it
all
wouldn't
of
be
them
right.
at the intersection are
Yes,
cut?
yes.
Can we see another one?
Gladly.
Okay.
He's a fucking man.
How many cameras is that?
As many as I could do. I don't know exactly how many, but I'd venture to say it was somewhere in the neighborhood of 20 to 30 cameras.
With so much drama in
He
the
is
LBC,
the man, Stephen Ruth, the man, the myth, the legend.
Somehow, some way,
We got some mugshot photos over
shit
there,
like
man.
every single day. May I kick a little something for the G's?
That's right.
That was before Suffolk County hit me with so many felonies that my balls hit the floor.
Yo, I could imagine. How many felonies was it?
69.
69 felonies. Oh, my God. And the only reason why this guy beat him is because he proved that the whole program
Well,
was
you know what? I
fraudulent.
stood behind what I believed. And also, I think God played a big role. But I stood behind what I believed. And I was right. They were shortening our lights to steal our money, and they were stealing plenty of it.
Yep, and exposed them. So that's what he did. And that's what he blew up for. And
I had a lot of help. You know, I got to give credit to the Raimondo law firm. David Raimondo was a huge part of my criminal defense, and he also helped me uncover a ton of things. Brian Ciccarelli, also a traffic signal engineer, the foremost expert traffic signal engineer in the country, helped us a lot, and FOIL requests, and basically people just giving us, I guess, the truth in the FOIL requests that no engineers signed off on any cameras or traffic signals, and that accidents were being deleted, children dying in intersections were being deleted after the fact because the camera company in the county wanted to hide their negligence.
Yep. And that was bombshell back then because nobody knew that was going on. They saw the accidents ramping up, but nobody had any idea that there was this much malpractice going on within the Suffolk County.
People started paying attention after I had to destroy all their shit.
Yeah.
Then people woke up.
Yeah. And all it took was a pair of balls and a painter's extension rod. If you haven't seen the video, go look it up on YouTube. Type in Stephen Ruth, Red Light Robin Hood, and you'll see the original video. It's, it gives you a little bit of motivation if you've been sitting on the fence.
You know, if you don't stand behind your actions, then the government and the media are going to control the narrative. And that's what we did not want to happen. Could you imagine the narrative that they would have chosen? Whoever's doing this is sacrificing our safety.
Oh, yeah.
Meanwhile, they're sitting there shortening yellow lights all over the place.
Yeah.
And having kids press the walk button. The walk sign goes on at the same time. The green left arrow goes on with a camera right behind the people. So they're speeding through the intersection, trying to get out of sight of the camera. And meanwhile, there's kids crossing the road, literally.
Yeah, absolutely ridiculous. So commend you for blowing the lid off that one.
Thank you, brother.
And then I like to run around with a bullhorn from time to time, and I do a lot of studying with medical documents and all types of stuff. So this was a clip of me. I was out in Connecticut showing some support to local patriots out there, and I think we were going to hit the Capitol building in Connecticut. But while we were there, we had a meetup point, and it was right off the entrance ramp on one of these main roads. So I was there with the bullhorn letting them have it, and this is what I was doing during COVID, not complying at all, and this is what I was talking about.
We don't want no experimental vaccines. We're not taking no gene therapy. We will not comply. As we speak, there's a depopulation agenda being carried out worldwide. All the hospitals were murdering people on their COVID protocols. That's why they changed the ICD-10 codes to a UD 7.1 code, which said everything was COVID for federal payout money. First, you get sick with a common cold. Then you go to the hospital because you're scared that you might have COVID. Then the hospital admits you. Then they pump you with remdesivir to shut down your kidneys and fill your lungs with water. And then they stick you on a ventilator and kill you. Every single patient that walked into an ER under COVID had a $100,000 price tag on their head. A $100,000 price tag at the hospitals to kill you. I have all the documents. I have everything you need on UCNYnews.com. UCNYnews.com. Let's go! We're going to take back this country. We're going to remove the power from the tyrants and get them all out of our seats. We're not going to be exterminated like cockroaches like Klaus Schwab wants. And if you don't know who Klaus Schwab is, he's the chairman of the World Economic Forum, the biggest geopolitical think tank on the planet. And he wants us to eat bugs, own nothing, and be happy. I don't think so, Klaus. I think the American people are going to rise up and fight this tyranny. If you have kids that are 5 and up, the government wants to stick them with a poisonous gene therapy to take away their immune system and keep them sick for the rest of their lives. How many more people have to die from adverse reactions that they're hiding? Go look at VAERS, V-A-E-R-S. It's a reporting system for adverse reactions. Go look at the numbers. And that's only 1% of people report adverse reactions. And the numbers are skyrocketing. Take your power back. Claim your constitutional rights. And let's end this enslavement forever.
Hell yeah. I remember that day, man. Yeah, I was on fire. But that's what needs to be done, man. You have to motivate these people and show them that one person can have a difference. You have to know what you're talking about and get out there and spread the information out. Because a lot of people, they don't understand it. It's not told to them. The news suppresses all this stuff, and it's censored off the internet. So the only way of them hearing the information is by you getting out there and speaking it out loud and proud. And that's what needs to be done. So that's what we do on the outside of here. You know, we're not jumping on TV and, you know, stagnant when the show's over. We are constantly active every single day in our activism and always striving to make the future of America better, whether it be helping somebody out, doing a nice gesture, getting donations up for people in need, or, you know, just donating time or whatever. But do something.
We give people jobs, raking leaves.
Yeah, raking leaves, you know, for the seniors. That was great. That was great. So we had the body count brought up in the White House press conference that went on, and it was epic. I never thought I'd hear anybody ask that in the White House press room, but yes, they did. So let's roll that clip, man.
So over the weekend, President Trump posted to Truth Social a video highlighting what most people call the Clinton body count, which is the strange number of suicides that seem to happen in Clinton circles.
No problem.
I have a headline here from the Washington Post that said, Trump peddles false conspiracy theories tying the Clintons to several deaths. So I just wanted to highlight real quick, this wasn't in Trump's video, but this is from the Arkansas Times, and it's the death of Mark Middleton, who was a former Clinton White House aide, who was found dead on a Clinton Foundation property. And I'll just quote from the Arkansas Times. Middleton apparently shot himself in the chest with a shotgun and also hung himself from a tree with an extension cord. So I have no idea how somebody commits suicide that way, but if the Washington Post is here, maybe you can enlighten us as to how that was actually a suicide.
Whoa.
That was amazing.
Wow. We got a whole new press room this year, don't we?
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness, man. Yeah, it gets no better than that.
Yeah.
So, real questions
I
are
want
being
to play that
asked.
again.
Yeah, yo, I'm telling you. Real questions are being asked by real press. And the dinosaur media is in there, and they're losing their minds. So it's what a time, man. I always say, what a time to be alive. But we're going to take another quick commercial break, and we're going to be back in a couple minutes. And I'll see you on the other side.
All right, now you know what? We're not going to be back after that. We're just going to close out, and we want to thank you all for watching. We are, again, at the America First Warehouse, the most patriotic venue in all the land. And we will keep you posted for parties and other things other events that they host here.
Yeah, and just a heads up, if any little technical difficulties going on with the show, we're still working out kinks and getting everything organized. We just started doing commercials, so we're still breaking down the format. So if things seem a little quirky, that's all it is. And by next week, we'll have everything figured out.
God bless you all.
God bless you.
And have a great week, everyone.
Peace, guys.
Peace.